Hello friends, you welcome to my complete Java course. In today's video lecture, we are going to learn access specifier in Java. So let's start today's video lecture. Java access modifiers. So what is access modifiers in Java? Java provides four access modifiers to set access label for classes, variables, methods, and constructors. That is public, private, protected, and default. These access label modifiers determine whether other classes can use a particular field or invoke a particular method. Public, accessible everywhere. If you define a class, a method, a constructor, a variable as a public, you can access that class, variable, method, and constructor everywhere in the program. Protected, accessible in the same package and in subclasses. Default, accessible only in the same package, and private, accessible only in the same class. The access specifiers can be strictly ordered or visibility as below. The highest accessibility is public, then protected, then default and private. This accessibility we have also discussed in the previous lecture in the package, how to create a package. In the previous video, we learned these access modifiers. So here also we learn in more detail of the access modifiers. What is public access modifiers in Java? Public are accessible from everywhere. A class, a method, a constructor, interface, etc. declared public can be accessed from any other classes. However, if the public class we are trying to access is in a different package, then the public class still needs to be imported. So if you define a public, you can access everywhere. But if you define a class as a public, also then if you are accessing in the different package, then you need to import that class for accessing in the different package. Suppose here you have a hello world class which is public and in which we define a private string and we create a method get format and we are returning this format string, and this is the set method. So this is the setter method and this is the getter method. Setter method is used to set to the value and getter method is for getting the value. So in the above example, get format method and set format method are public, so they can be accessed anywhere. Okay, now what is protected access modifiers in Java? Protected are accessible by the class of the same package and the subclass residing in any package. Suppose you have a hello world class in which you have a private string which is format, and you define a protected setters method and getter method. Then you can, in the above given example of hello world, variable format is declared protected, so it can be accessed by all the classes present in the same package. It means where the hello world Java is present, if other class is present with the hello world.java, then you can access this getter and setter method, as well as you can access within the sub package present in the other package as well. But for the sub package, you need to extend a hello world class. So the use of protected we have learned practically in my previous video. So here I am not showing the practically. Here I am just giving the uh, definition of all the access modifiers. The practically we have already done in the previous video, how to access a uh, public class, public method, public constructor, and public variable. And the protected, how to call protected, and the private we cannot call anywhere out from the class. That all the practical we have done in my previous class. So here we are not going for the practical. Here just we are going further more definition of these access modifiers. What is default access modifier in Java? Default access modifier means we do not explicitly declare an access modifier for a class, field, method. Default are accessible by the class of the same package. So for the default access modifiers, you need not to write a default before the class. Likewise, a public, you define a public. For the protected, you write the protected keywords, but for the default you need not to write the default keyword before the any method, any class, any constructor, or any variable. So that if your class or field define a default, so you can access these fields or class within the package. The all the classes defined in the one package, you can use these field in any class of the same package. So here take an example. You never define, you need not to define any. So here the format, string format, you did not give any access specifier. In the given example of hello world, variable format is declared as default. For the default you need not to define a default keyword here. So it can be accessed by all the classes present in the same package where hello world Java is present. What is private access modifiers in Java? Private access modifier is the most restrictive access label. Private members are accessible within the same class only. Methods, variable, and constructor that are declared private can only be accessed within the declared class itself. Like if you define a private string class, then you can access this class it directly. So no class can access it directly. It must be accessed through the public methods get format and set format. So this private string cannot be accessed directly by the other class. It can be accessed by using or by the help of only get format or set format public methods. So friends, thank you for watching this video lecture. I hope you enjoyed this video lecture. In this video lecture, we learn the theoretically of the access modifiers. The practically use of the access modifier we have already done in the package video lecture. So now you understand how to these access modifier works. If you define a field or a class, a constructor, or a method as a protected, public, default, or private, then how to access these fields within the package or outside of the package or within the different type of package. So thank you for watching this video lecture and watch my next video lecture for learning new things in Java.